Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girdhari Pijana Vallabha Girdhari Jasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Vanacharim Jamuna Tira Vanacharim Jamuna Tira Vanacharim Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Radhanath Radha Radhanath Radhe Jaya Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Radhe Jaya Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jaya Giri Govardhan Jaya Gaura Hari Gaura Hari Gaura Hari Jaya Gaura Hari Nitya Gaura Haribo, 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 Gaura Haribo. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Shri Radha Radhanath ki, Shri Giriraj Govardhan ki, Shri Radha Damodhar ki, Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu Gaur Hari ki, Shri Panchatattva ki, Shri Prabhupada ki, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Bhaktivedanta Purpose ki, Srila Veda Vyasadev ki, Gau Premanandi, all glories to the symbol devotees. All glories to the symbol devotees. All glories to Guru and Gauranga. Sweet of Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, thank you for attending this Bhagavatam class. This morning's verse is from the 4th canto, chapter 24, text 33. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaivam Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye Nasta Prayasya Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavat Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So we're reading from Sri Rudra Uvacha. Jitam Nahatma Vidvarya. Jitam Tahatma Vidvarya. Svastaye Svastir Astu Me. Svastaye Svastir Astu Me. Bhavarad Asaradham. Rad Asaradham. Sarvasmahatmane Namaha. Sri Rudra Uvacha. Chitam Tahatma Vidvarya. Svastaye Svastir Astu Me. Bhavata Aradasaradham. Sarvasmahatmane Namaha. Sri Rudra Uvacha. Chittamna Tahatma Vidvarya. Svastaye Svastir Astu Me. Bhavata Radharasaradham. Sarvasmahatmane Namaha. Sri Rudra Uvacha. Chitam Tahatma Vidvarya. Svastaye Svastir Astu Me. Bhavarada Sadham. Sarvatma Mane Namaha. Sri Rudra Uvacha Jivatma Vidvarya Srivasti Astume Bhavatara Dasaradham Sarvasmatmane Namaha. Saya, come. Sri Rudra Uvacha Itam Tahatma Vidvarya Swastaye Swastirastu Me Bhavatar Sasaradham Sarvasmahatmane Namaha. You sure? Sri Rudra Uvacha Itam Tahatma Vidvarya Swastaye Astu Me Bhavatara Dasaradham Sarvatma Atmane Manaha. Anybody else? Prabhus? Okay. Sri Rudra Uvacha. Lord Shiva began to speak. Jitam, all glories, te, unto you, Atmavit, self-realized, Varya, the best, Swastaye, unto the auspicious, Swasti, auspiciousness, Astu, let there be, Me, of me, Bhavata, by you, Aradasa, by the all-perfect, Radham, worshipable, Sarvasmai, the Supreme Soul, Atmane, unto the Supreme Soul, Namaha, obeisances, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Lord Shiva addressed the Supreme Person of Godhead with the following prayer. O Supreme Personality of Godhead, all glories unto you. You are the most exalted of all self-realized souls. Since you are always auspicious for the self-realized, I wish that you be auspicious for me. You are worshipable by virtue of the all-perfect instructions you give. You are the Super Soul. Therefore, I offer my obeisance unto you as the Supreme Living Being. Purport. As soon as a devotee is inspired by the Lord to offer the Lord a prayer, the devotee immediately glorifies the Lord in the beginning by saying, all glories unto you, my Lord. The Lord is glorified because He is considered to be the chief of the self-realized souls, as said in the Vedas, Katha Upanishad 2.13, Nityo Nityanas, Chaitanas Chaitananam. The Supreme Being, the Person of God, is the chief living being amongst all living beings. There are different kinds of individual living beings. Some of them are in the material world and some are in the spiritual world. Those who are in the spiritual world are known to be completely self-realized because on the spiritual platform, the living entity is not forgetful of his service to the Lord. Therefore, in the spiritual world, all those who are in the devotional service of the Lord are eternally fixed, for they understand the position of the Supreme Being, as well as the individual constitution. Thus, among self-realized souls, the Lord is known as a perfectly self-realized soul. Nityo Nityanam Chaitanas Chaitananam. When the individual soul is fixed in his knowledge of the Lord as a Supreme Being, he actually becomes established in an all-auspicious position. Lord Shiva prays herein that his auspicious position continue eternally by virtue of the Lord's mercy upon him. The Supreme Lord is all perfect, and the Lord instructs that one who worships him also becomes perfect, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 15:15. Mata smitir jnanam apahanam cha. The Lord is situated as the super soul in everyone's heart, but he is so kind to his devotees that he gives them instructions by which they may continue to progress. When they receive instructions from the All-Perfect, there is no chance of their being misled. This is all confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 10:10. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayantite. The Lord is always ready to give instructions to the pure devotee so that the devotee can advance further and further in devotional service. Since the Lord gives instructions as Sarvahatma, the super soul, Lord Shiva offers him respect with the word Sarvatma Atmane Namaha. The individual soul is called Atma, and the Lord is also called Atma as well as Paramatma. Being situated in everyone's heart, the Lord is known as the Supreme Atma. Therefore, all obeisances are offered unto him. In this regard, one may refer to the praise of Kunti in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 1:8-20. Tata param sanam parama sanam muninam amalatmanam bhakti yoga vidan artham katam pashyema I striya. The Lord is always ready to give instruction to the Paramahamsas, or the topmost devotees of the Lord, who are completely liberated from all contaminations of the material world. The Lord always gives instructions by such exalted devotees to inform them how they can remain fixed in devotional service. Similarly stated in the Atmarama verse, Bhagavatam 1:7-10, Atmaramascha munayo nigranta ap urukrame kurvant ayatikam bhaktim itambuta guno hari. The word Atmarama refers to those who are not interested in the material world, but are simply engaged in spiritual realization. Such self-realized persons are generally considered in two categories, impersonal and personal. However, impersonals also become devotees when they are attracted by the personal transcendental qualities of the Lord. The conclusion is that the Lord Shiva wanted to remain a fixed devotee of the Supreme Personal Godhead Vasudeva, as explained in the following verses. Lord Shiva never desires to merge into the existence of the Supreme Lord like the impersonals. Rather, he thinks that it would be good fortune for him to continue to be fixed in the understanding of the Lord as a Supreme Being. By this understanding, one realizes that all living entities, including Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and other demigods, are servants of the Supreme Lord. Om Jnana Timrindasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksharam Malitam Jaina Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam Jaina Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunath Anvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So these prayers are very, very wonderful. Especially the prayers I just chanted now is from called the Mangala Charana. Means it creates auspiciousness And it also inspires us to uh, be with fortitude, like with some conviction, because these prayers are to the Parampara and to the Supreme Lord, and these are our backstop. In slang, we use the word backstop, isn't it? We have backup, isn't it? So this is our backup to give us that impetus to, so that we can speak something of value, of benefit to the conditioned souls out there. So yeah, Lord Shiva is also very similarly in appreciation of the Supreme. Here is a contrast. We see Lord Shiva in many instances, or in many, there's always a conflicting situation between the Saivites and the Vaishnavas, because they are convinced that Lord Shiva is God, and the Vaishnavas that Vishnu, Krishna is God. So there's always this constant bickering, but yeah, Lord Shiva is, those are real bhaktas of Lord Shiva. They will understand that Lord Shiva is actually a devotee of the Lord. He's not God. In some instances he is God, same time he is not God. And this is given in the Brahma Samhita also, that how to understand. A very nice analogy when the Lord wants to come in the material world. The Lord, of course, has no business with the material world, though he, through his external energy, creates this material energy. But he has nothing to do. He's a kind of, not a verse, I wouldn't say verse. He's kind of not involved with the material world. But he has personalities who are there, like different devatas, like Lord Shiva. So when the Lord wants to come to the material world, there's a transformation. He transforms himself into that Lord Shiva. And this is explained in the Brahma Samhita to give some clarity, like milk and yogurt. You understand? When milk is mixed with some agent, like souring agent, it turns into yogurt. So that transformation is like that, like milk turning into yogurt. But although milk and yogurt are basically the same thing, but there are differences. Yogurt cannot turn back into milk. So this is how Lord Shiva's position in the material world is. He has a distinct role, that he is one of the guna avatars. The Lord has different avatars. The guna avatars, the lila avatars, manvantara avatars, like that. Purusha avatars in the time of creation, the Lord expands into Purusha avatars. In the time of management of the universe, he manifests as Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. So this is understanding that in that perspective. This is knowledge. This is, and we understand Lord Shiva's position, that he is described by the Vaishnavas. We might have heard this so many times. Vaishnavanam yatha shambhu. Isn't it? Vaishnavanam yatha. Can you say that? Loud? Vaishnavanam yatha shambhu. The Lord Shiva is Shambhu. Another name for Lord Shiva is, of course, Lord Shiva has many names. Shambhu, the other day we had, is Hashatosh. Isn't Girisha? So many names he has. Mahadev. So many names. Ashutosh, one who is easily pleased, isn't? And he gives benediction. So it's like that. So these prayers here, Prabhupada explains how appreciation of the Lord, we can also similarly follow in that footsteps of this great. Lord Shiva is considered a Mahajan, one of the 12 Mahajans. Mahajan means, Jana means people in general. Mahajana means the very empowered personalities within the material world, who we can take shelter of and take the message of Godhead from. These 12. So Lord Shiva is, and Brahma is also one of the 12 Mahajans. And the scriptures that Mahajano Yena Gata Sapanta. We must follow in the footsteps of these great Mahajans. We must follow in. So like a typical Lord Shiva is offering prayers to the Supreme Lord. So knowing that he is not the Supreme himself, although many of his followers may profess, like Sankaracharya was a great impersonalist, but in his heart he knew that Krishna is the Supreme, and he wrote many treatises glorifying Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita. But his followers were very Mayavads, and so Lord Shiva said, in Kali Yuga, we will come as Sankaracharya, you will manifest as Sankaracharya, just to mislead the Mayavads, just to make them more confused, come to spread this brand of Mayavad philosophy, of impersonalism, that there are many gods, there's not one God, Panchopasanam, like that. This doctrine of Hinduism comes from this teachings of Sankaracharya, actually. But in his heart, he knew who was the actual Supreme Person of Godhead himself. He knew that. When he was glorifying the Bhagavad Gita in so many ways. The Prabhupada quotes many verses of the Lord is from the Katha Upanishad, references to giving insight into the Lord's position. And we made from the Bhagavatam, Vyasadeva is asserting who is the Supreme, isn't? Lord Brahma in the Brahma Samhita is asserting who is the Supreme Controller, although there are many controllers. Ishvara Parama Krishna. You're familiar with that verse, you may have heard it so many times. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadir Hadir Govinda, Sarva Karana Karanam. He says there are many controllers, but you, Krishna, you are the Supreme. Ishvara Parama. Now this word Parama, a Sanskrit word, we get the English word, what's paramount? There's many words derived. With Sanskrit we know is the mother of all languages. And a lot of derivatives. English comes from the Sanskrit. Yeah, so paramount. Paramount means the chief of all chiefs. Isn't it? You get so many chiefs in a village and you get one paramount chief of all the chiefs. So likewise in that analogy, we understand that although there are many controllers, there are millions of controllers. There are millions of, like the demigods are all controlling some aspect of the material creation in some ways. Like today Indra is sending rain, isn't? Last week we in the Govardhan Leela, Indra sent torrents of rain, isn't? Invoking all this samvakat, the clouds of devastation to inundate the Rajadam, isn't? And Krishna picks up Govardhan Hill like an umbrella to protect the inhabitants. So like that, these different demigods are there for different functions of the universe. But their control is in their way. Lord Shiva is also controlling this material universe. He is known as the father of the universe, of the material universe. Therefore, this misconception, he must be God. Isn't he? Is God. But people with a poor fund of knowledge, one understands this knowledge, and one understands Bhagavad Gita. In Krishna, in 4 verses, he sums up the whole Bhagavad Gita. In this Chatusloki, very, very important verses in the Bhagavad Gita. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Bhagavad Gita 10:8. Here he asserts his authority that he is the supreme. Anybody can say like that. I am the source of both the material and spiritual. Everything comes from me. And the wise will know this, perfectly engage in service to me. And these 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, they are the essence of the Bhagavad Gita, explaining the essence of the Bhagavad Gita, and the Lord, who is the Supreme, and how through these verses the Lord instructs His devotees. Therefore, the devotees, in turn, they want to offer wonderful prayers. Like Prabhupada quotes, when Kunti in the 8th chapter in the first canto, Kunti is offering wonderful prayers. Kunti is the aunt, maternal aunt of Krishna. And this is after the battle of Kurukshetra. And she's paying homage to Krishna, how he had saved them from such atrocities and such dangers. And Krishna was the pivotal role in this battle of reinstating them, the Pandavas, as the royalty, as the rulers of the kingdom. So in that, she is offering wonderful prayers, glorifying the Lord. Then we see in Bhagavad Gita similar prayers by Arjuna. Arjuna, after hearing these 4 verses from Krishna, these Chatusloki verses, in 12, the next 2 verses, Arjuna speaks. He says, Arjuna Vacha, Param Brahma Param Dhamma, Pavitram Paramam Bhavam, Purusham Sashvatam Divyam, Adi Devam Ajam Vibhum, Austvam Vishaya Sarve, Devarisi Naradastata, Asito Devalo Vyasa, Swayam Chaiva Bravisime. The Brahma is offering these wonderful prayers in these 2 verses. After hearing these 4 shlokas from Krishna, Arjuna says, you are the Supreme Person of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. And not only I'm saying it, he's saying, all the great sages such as Narad, Asita, Devala, and Vyas confirm this truth about you. And now you yourself are declaring it to me. So this is a system of how to access this knowledge through. These are parampara. We accept it through a disciplic succession. This is how we know we're getting authentic knowledge. The Shastra, the previous acharyas, and the present guru. It's a 3-pronged. All must say in essence the same thing. In essence, the conclusions must be the same. If one of them is saying something different, then we reject it. Sometimes some contradiction. But if all are saying in essence, the Siddhanta, the conclusions are the same. They may word it differently, but the conclusion they arrive at, and we get convinced of that, then we are in the parampara. We are following the parampara. This is how we access perfect knowledge. That knowledge is unblemished, coming down in a very organized, intelligent way. So there's no room for speculation. Although it may get into the wrong hands, sometimes this knowledge gets distorted. Like Krishna is saying in the 4th chapter, it appears to be lost. It's not lost, but it appears when Bhagavad Gita is misconstrued by scholars and academics, and they all have their own opinion, in my opinion, like that. And I think it's like this. They have them. This is how this knowledge gets distorted. But when we hear it from the pure devotees, then we accept that it makes so much sense. It has that kind of attractive feature about it, that even if we don't know anything about reading Sanskrit or understanding Sanskrit, or maybe difficult, but still there is some way we can access it, even if we are not illiterate. Because Krishna in the heart, He sees our desire, He sees our sincerity, because He is the Paramatma. Yeah, they use the word in this verse, Sarva Atma, He is the soul, Sarva, in every living entity. Sarva Atma, in this verse, it's used like that. Lord Shiva is referring to the Paramatma, Sarva Atma. You are in everyone's heart. So naturally, the Lord will inspire us. It's not about being an erudite scholar or a rocket scientist to understand Bhagavad Gita. In these 4 verses, the Chatusloki, Krishna, he says, I'll just read one verse from the way. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. So that is very clear, isn't it? Yeah. To show them special mercy, this is the 11th verse. I, dwelling in their hearts, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. So, what is our qualification? We are very fallen, conditioned in so many ways. But the moment we come into spiritual life, or take to spiritual life, then the Lord, He takes over. And in that, Prabhupada quotes that verse from the 15th, Sarvasya chaham ridi sani vishto. Sarvasya chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart. Ridi means heart. And from me comes matasmitir jnanam apaanam cha. From me comes knowledge, forgetfulness, and remembrance. I am the source of the Vedas. Vedanta Krit Veda vid eva chaham. So who can say like that? With some authority, isn't it? Is some authority, and we have to, how do we accept it? Faith. Shraddha. Opposite of faith, Ashraddha. Ashraddha Dana. In that 9th chapter, Krishna speaks of those who are faithless. And what is their destination? Those who are faithless. Those who are atheistic. Those who are demoniac. They have a destination. Very, very gruesome. But the devotees are always protected by the Lord. They will always be protected by the Lord. So by Lord Shiva's example, we can exemplify that prayers, offering prayer, heartfelt prayers. Every day we see the deities, isn't? What do we pray for? We pray for a nice, to pass your board exams, or you want a nice husband or a nice wife, or you want wealth. Krishna says that whoever approaches me, they come with these agenda, isn't? In the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he's saying like that, Chatur Vida Bhajante Mam. 4 types of people approach me. Those who are distressed, those who are want of wealth, those out of curiosity will approach me, and those who are genuinely seeking knowledge. They will. So we may fall in any of these categories of coming to Krishna consciousness. At least we approaching Krishna. Yes, and Krishna. Even if we come with such desires, material desires, somehow we get purified. Like in the 4th canto we read of Dhruva, isn't? In the previous chapters, Dhruva, he had such an high agenda of wanting such material opulence. But he approached the Lord. And eventually he got purified from that. Instead he got a planet, his own planet, the Lord, because of his intense devotional service to the Lord. So Lord Shiva is, we know, is the history, the story. Lord Shiva is described in the Bhagavatam as like has no home. He doesn't have a house. no fixed abode. He's living under trees. But what is his whole agenda is simply meditating on the Lord. He understands that he is not God. And in one instance, there's a verse in, I think it's in the Padma Purana, correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't where he quotes this famous verse, his wife Devi, she wants to know, are you God? And he says, no. And what's the verse, Raghunath? You know that verse? Yes? Huh? Just remind me quickly, give me one word. Lord Shiva quotes this verse. Aradhananam sarveshu Vishnu aradhanam param tasmat parataram devi taryanam mat archanam. He says of all types of worship of Vishnu is the highest. He's telling his wife. But higher than the worship of Vishnu is those things that are associated. Taryanam, those things that are the devotees and the paraphernalia that's attached to the Lord. Therefore, the devotees are glorified. The Lord wants to glorify His devotees. When we glorify the devotees, the Lord is pleased. Isn't? We see in the Bhagavad Gita, in the opening chapter, Krishna is riding the chariot, a very menial service, riding a chariot. That's the role he took because he wants to serve his devotee. He's Bhakta Vatsala. He is Bhakta Vatsala. He wants to serve his devotees. And we see in the Ramayana, Lord Ram is worshipping Lord Shiva. And people they said, oh, Shiva they misconstrue that. They think, oh, Ram is worshipping, Shiva must be God. This is where the misconceptions come. But Ram is glorifying Lord Shiva as a devotee. Because Ram is not different from Krishna, his avatar. So in this way, the Lord comes to instruct how to worship his devotees, and he is glorified. The devotees are glorified when they serve his devotees. It says, Mahat Seva, great service is done. Mahat Seva Vipra. We did that verse last night. Mahat Sevaya Vipra. When one serves the Mahat means great Mahatmas, great souls. What happens? Great service is done. And by such service, one Vasudeva Katha Ruchi, one develops the affinity to hear about Katha. What Katha? Bhagavad Katha, Bhagavad Gita Katha, all about the Lord's pastimes, the Lord. One develops that affinity, and that is the greatest thing. That is the most purifying thing. We can read so many novels and it's just mundane knowledge, and we don't discard it. But these we worship. These are worshipable because they are about God and His devotees. Therefore, they are so purified. They are Hamla Purana. Bhagavatam is considered as the ripened fruit of Vedic knowledge. The ripened fruit of Vedic, Amla Purana. Described like that. So this is knowledge. This is transcendental knowledge. That we become free from these misconceptions, and we understand with faith that the Supreme, and we follow a parampara, isn't a bona fide parampara system of worship, and that way we know we're not being deviated in any way. Hare Krishna, we got a few minutes. Thank you very much. Is there any questions? We got 5 minutes. I'm keeping to time. One time. There's a lot to say, but I just Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare.
Can you give more clarity on the word faith?
Sorry, sir?
Can you give more clarity on the word faith?
Wait.
It says you use the word shraddha, and sometimes people think that faith is blind, and maybe you can give the public and even myself more clarity on faith, because I'm not sure if one can get realization from faith that is maybe motivated by emotion.
Yeah, Lord Chaitanya defines faith that we play in something sublime. When we put our faith in something sublime, but I'll give you more clarity. They said it's described in the Vedic teaching that there are 9 steps to love of God. We are here to get Krishna, Prem. And there's 9 steps, and starts with Shraddha. That Shraddha, faith, is embellished or more developed in the association of those who have faith. You understand? By rubbing off on those who have faith, then our faith becomes embellished, become more serious. We hear, oh, this Hare Krishna mantra is nice, let me chant it. But you don't have faith, and you see other people chanting with such conviction. Oh, there's something about it that must be good, isn't? We see different people taking to this. And that's how your faith develops. Oh, the holy name. But through sadhu sangha. You understand? Sadhu sangha, association of like-minded who have that faith. And that faith is further embellished. It's called bhajana kriya. Bhajana kriya means we become more serious and we render service. We're chanting Hare Krishna. The goal of Chanya is to do service. You're asking for service. Understand? That's why we chant Hare Krishna. We're asking Krishna for some. Engage me in your service. Because in my conditioned life, I was serving different masters. Maya, isn't? And I was very disappointed. I was very troubled by all this. Exploited. Now I want to serve you. So, and we see that embellishment of that through association of devotees. And Prabhupada would say our advancement is based on our association. 96%, 99% is based on sadhu sangha. If that faith develops there, that faith is synchronized by... Rukmini, you want to add something to that? Am I saying the right thing? So sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, which means we become serious. We want to accept a guru, a spiritual master, like most of us. When we have that faith, then we accept guru. We accept a bona fide spirit. It was coming in disciplic succession. Prabhupada's disciple. We are all grand disciples of Srila Prabhupada in this movement. But we have uncles who are the disciples of Prabhupada, the first disciples. We are the 3rd generation, kind of. So we take initiation. That is bhajana kriya. That is our conviction. That means we have conviction in this process. That faith is developed more like that. And then, the next stage is anata nivriti. Anata means we give up all these misgivings that's in the heart. Misconceptions about things. That means there's some progress is there gradually by that association. And then nishta, the faith becomes more firm. Nishta. Then ruchi. Ruchi means we get taste. What is a taste? We see you dancing. You like dancing. That means you have some taste for the holy name. Right? You agree? Why will you dance? That means it's working. It's acting. Isn't it? Yeah. Because it's kind of provoking something in the heart. Or invoking something in the heart. That's driving you like that. So, Nishta, Ruchi, taste. We have taste for coming to see the deities. We have taste for hearing Bhagavatam. Taste to be in association of devotees. Taste to hearing from devotees. That means, there's a kind of a kind of gradual advancement is there. Is there. Then Ashakti means attachment. Attachment means you chant your one day you miss rounds and you're feeling very, isn't you attached to chanting, you must chant. Or you must get up and follow the morning program. Attachment is there. And these are all high levels of becoming advanced. Then Bhav. Bhav is the first stages of love of God, of manifesting. First stages of love of God. And then Prema. Prema is the ultimate goal that we all are here for, to get Krishna Prem, love of God. But it starts with Shraddha. It gradually comes up like that. So we have to be convinced of that somehow. Sometimes, blind faith, but blind faith in something good is not bad. Isn't? In Krishna consciousness. Yeah. And we get, it's a good thing. Yeah. So, is that okay? Raghu, you want to say something? Where's the mic? I'll give him this one. Got a few minutes.
Hare Krishna, yeah. So I was just thinking that, yes, it's faith. The faith, as you said, is being embellished, is increasing. But in the initial state is also faith that you have. Otherwise, how are you going to improve? So your initial faith is there. But that sometimes people may not have faith at all. But devotees can create that faith. We just walk down the road, somebody will look at us, oh, he's a devotee. So we just see, they seeing us, that faith is created, Just like how Prabhupada said, the disciples were thinking, because nobody can take to Krishna consciousness if they didn't do it previously.
Yes, from previous life, from pious.
From previous pious activities. And then the disciples of Prabhupada were thinking that, they were proud, and he said, well, really you all are not pious. But I created that piety and for that faith, so that it starts like that. So sometimes a devotee can create that faith, and it goes on like that. So many people came to Krishna consciousness, just by the devotee's mercy like that. And Srila Prabhupada, of course. Yeah. But
faith in the nectar of devotion, faith is in different categories. All faith isn't Kanishta faith, Kanishta, Madhyam, and Uttama. Kanishta faith, your faith is pliable. You're neither here nor there, you're just there. But tomorrow you'll hear something about Christianity, you'll run there. Or next day you hear about Islam, so your faith is pliable. Like clay, you can make clay into any shape, isn't it? Make one shape. So your faith can be like that also. You understand? So we see many devotees, they come with that, and the next minute they're not in Krishna consciousness. That means the faith is not, they haven't read Srila Prabhupada. Most people don't read Prabhupada's books. They haven't. They don't even know the pranam mantras for Prabhupada. If I have to ask, anyway, we won't embarrass anybody. Yeah. So, it comes from readings and also hearing. Hearing is the foremost process. And of course, we follow exemplary devotees. We advance by associating with advanced devotees. Always take shelter of advanced devotees. In that way, you'll always be protected. Yeah. How you take shelter? By serving them. Yes. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada ki
Jai.
jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Thank you very much. Lord, I didn't even do this. It'll take another hour.